Welcome to the FCIS product webinar series. We are pleased to have Jeff Johnson of MAPEI Corporation with us today. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Morning. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you very much, and thank you all for attending this webinar and the opportunity for us to share a little bit of information about the MAPEI product portfolio with specific focus on moisture control and subfloor preparation solutions. So thank you very much for your attendance. And by all means, this is a great opportunity to ask me questions. So if I'm speaking about something that you have interest in, please do use the question box. Fill out some question. I'll do my best to answer for you at the end of the seminar, at the webinar, okay? Thank you very much. So let's see if I can figure out how to move to the next slide. Here we go. So let's get started with the discussion here with Jeff's 3 rules of floor covering preparation. First of all, there's no such thing as a flat and level floor. This photograph you're seeing, or this image you're seeing on the screen, is actual laser topographical view of the Swedish hospital. This floor is about 60 feet by 150 feet in size, so it's a pretty good sized floor. And you obviously see that the variations of that concrete slab are anywhere from 0 to 2¼ inches off the level. So this is pretty much common based on the observations we've seen. It does have a tendency to look a little bit like the Raywall Wilderness up in Colorado, but that's what we all have to deal with as a flooring contractor to be able to get this smooth and flat to install flooring, as well as to install all the rest of the ancillary building materials, door casings, cabinetry, etc. So no such thing as a flat floor. The second truth that we have is that there's no such thing as a dry floor. Transitions are coming. They're seldom dry enough for you to install. If you take a look at this layout diagram here, you'll find a variety of moisture control readings. These are done by the calcium chloride test. Number 16 over here is at 7.84. Here's number 7 at 16.83. There's another one down here at 4.7, 18.89. So all of these things will have to be dealt with before you start installing any kind of a floor covering material. The last truth that I'll share with you, if I can again figure out how to make this move to the next slide, is that no 2 concrete slabs are ever the same. I need to get back one. Yes. Maybe. Again, I apologize for this. No 2 concrete slabs are the same. The reason why I bring this to your attention is that just because it looks like the last job you did and it was dry, porous and suitable for floor covering installation, you cannot ever really take that chance. And there are a variety of reasons why that's the truth, but it seems like every concrete project we get involved in, each concrete slab is another unique canvas on which we have to do our own particular artwork. So you really need to make sure that you understand it extremely well. So having said that, your subfloor preparation solutions and moisture control products have to be as varied as the floors we deal with. So here is just a simple example. If you're in a pastry shop, you really don't want to just have one type of coffee, and Starbucks makes their fortune on providing a variety of different solutions based on your requirements. So that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. In terms of support and standards for this industry, there are 2 documents that we're all well aware of. The ASTM F-710, which talks about the standard practice for preparing concrete floors to receive resilient flooring. If you do not have that document in your files anywhere, you should get that. If you are a contractor listening to this webinar, I highly recommend you get to the ASTM website and download this document. It's not a very expensive fee, but you need to have your own licensed copy. This is where you'll find a lot about the floor flatness, floor compression, dryness, and so on and so forth. It's your tool to use with the general contractor base to say, I need to have this floor in compliance with the standard. Here's what needs to be done to be able to remediate it to get it ready. So it's your justification for that. The other document that I think is extremely valuable for you to have is the American Concrete Institute ACI 302.2R-06, a guide for concrete slabs that receive moisture-sensitive flooring materials. This one can also be obtained from the concrete.org website in their document section. This again is another one that can be purchased for your own individual licensed copy, but it is an extremely valuable treatise or white paper, if you will, on concrete drying, concrete curing, the nature of concrete as it cures. So I highly recommend these two documents be part of your standard folder for subfloor preparation. Concrete subfloor prep must-haves. Obviously, this comes from both the F-710 and the ACI 302 documents. That they should be dry, clean, smooth, and structurally sound. The cracks control joints must be filled with a minimum of 3,000 psi compression strength. Expansion joints shall not be filled. Surface has got to be clean. No adhesive residue shall be smooth and flat. Okay, so all that stuff is a must-have, and when you get on a job site, generally 9 times out of 10, these must-haves are not checked on the box. You have to get the concrete into specification for that. There are some required testing for concrete slabs. First of all, you've got to make sure that the curing agents and bond breakers have to be removed, and there's a water drop test for that. For example, if you do drop water on a concrete slab and it beads up and it doesn't penetrate into the surface, that's a pretty good indication that you still have a concrete curing agent or sealer of some sort that needs to be removed before you continue to move forward. Moisture testing is also recommended and highly recommended to make sure you understand what the nature of the cure of that concrete slab and if there are any residual moisture-related issues to deal with. The ASTM F-1869 is the calcium chloride test, and the ASTM F-2170 is the RH probe test, which recently updated its standard to now only require a 24-hour time frame for testing as opposed to the previous 3-day requirement. The pH testing is also a very valid, important test that oftentimes we as contractors forget to do, but that gives you a very good indication, again, as to the age of the concrete. If it's very young, it's going to have a very high pH. If it's an old concrete with a high pH, then that's a good indicator that there is a moisture-related issue going involved. The salts are being brought to the surface and the pH is way too high. Something's going to need to be dealt with. You'll need to remediate, fix it, repair it, and get it back down to some sort of an area where normal installation materials will work normally. These are the two test methods. You should have these also in your folders, the ASTM 1869, the calcium chloride test, and this image that you see on the right, the 2170, is updated, I believe it's a 2170-17, is the new test method for the RH probe test. Concrete pH testing, a variety of ways to do that. There are electronic probes available. The most common test method is to use these litmus paper types of testing methods. But the key factor in doing a pH test, in my opinion, is the time that you allow it to dwell on the surface, the wetting time. So make sure that when you're doing your pH testing, you're doing the best to control the water drop exposure to the concrete to a defined period of time, and that's typically 60 seconds, and then record the results. Allowing that water drop to sit longer on a concrete slab will actually increase the pH of the liquid longer than normal, and you could get variations of even 3 pH points the longer you let the water sit on top of the drop. Okay, so why is all this required? Obviously, we are doing all the analysis of the concrete slab, studying it before we get on top of it to avoid callbacks, wavy looking floors, avoid pattern run-on with tile products, avoid hollow spots, moisture-related issues, and mold and mildew growth. So those are the things we're trying to avoid by doing all this pre-testing. Preparation of concrete floors, they should be cured and dried for new concrete in compliance with floor covering manufacturer requirements. And if you have an existing floor, they must be free from any adhesive residues, clean, dry, and in compliance again with flooring manufacturer requirements. And we're going to get to here shortly a little bit of some of the solutions that MAPEI has on how to do that. And here are a couple links for you as well for you to take a look at if you're looking for preparation of wood subfloors. Again, MAPEI does have solutions to deal with floors for wood, preparation of wood subfloors for resilient wood and ceramic tile as well. The MAPEI floor covering installation system product line for subfloor preparation and moisture mitigation includes these products. Planiseal VS FAST, our two new ones, Planiseal PMB and MSP. We'll spend a little bit of time talking about all of these here shortly. We do have an assortment of high moisture resistant subfloor preparation products. Planiprep MRS is a new addition to our line, MAPECEM QuickPatch and Ultraplan Extreme 2. Our traditional subfloor preparation products in the form of Planipatch, Planipatch Plus, Planiprep SC, and Planitex UNS. A series of primers that we have that offer all sorts of advantages and functionalities that we'll talk a little bit more as well. And then we take a look at our self-leveling underlayment product portfolio. We have at least 12 of them in the line right now, and we'll spend a little bit of time talking about all of these as we get through the product portfolio. So if you were thinking that MAPEI was just Planipatch, got a little bit of a surprise for you. Moisture control solutions from MAPEI begin with Planiseal VS. If I can get the thing to move forward, transitions. Come on, come on, come on. Planiseal VS is our platinum standard, if you will, a two-part epoxy moisture vapor barrier. Stop. Sorry. Bear with me. Planiseal VS FAST is, Planiseal VS is an ASTM F-710 compliant two-part epoxy system. It does require surface profiling for functionality unless you can prove that the concrete slab is in pristine condition, porous, non-contaminated, and ready to receive it. But Planiseal VS is the product to use if you have a concrete slab that is 5 days in age or older and works extraordinarily well. It has a perm rate in less than 0.1 perms and is the product to use for that. And the benefits of the Planiseal VS product is it certainly does allow for the expediting of floor covering installations, because once you apply these materials, put a primer and a leveler on the surface of it, you're beginning the installation process as opposed to having to wait considerable amounts of time for the concrete to dry naturally. Planiseal VS takes about 8 hours to dry or cure. If you need something faster, we have Planiseal VS FAST, again an ASTM F-710 compliant product, but its cure time is at 5 to 6 hours and does the same kind of functionality as VS. So if you're working in a little bit cooler climates, or if you need to expedite the application of the epoxy moisture barrier, then we do have a product called VS FAST. The next one that we've introduced to the product portfolio is a unique product called Planiseal PMB. It's a polyurethane moisture barrier and bonding agent. This one is a very interesting product in the fact that it has, in my opinion, two functionalities. One is applies as a single coat application, provides a moisture vapor barrier system when used in conjunction with other urethane adhesives. Urethane adhesives like Ultraplan Eco 980, 975, or even our 995 or 985 wood flooring adhesives. The issues that we continue to have, even with one-step bonding solutions for wood flooring, is that it requires an immaculate installation by the installer to make sure that there are still no voids in the adhesive layer. And so by the application of Planiseal PMB, which is very simply rolled onto the floor and allowed to penetrate into a porous concrete using a 1/4-inch snap roller, cures in 2 hours, you can go back to using normal wood flooring installation practices and get a moisture vapor barrier and bonding solution in 2 steps. A little bit more of a robust installation for the installation of wood flooring. The second application, which is also of interest, is that Planiseal PMB, being a one-component moisture control solution, does not have a pot life. If you only need to use half the bucket, you can pour half the bucket on the floor and cap it up, and you'll still have the other half for another project later on. But for the commercial environment, it is a 2-coat application system where one coat goes down in about 2 hours, it's cured. A second coat is applied with a coarse sand broadcast, and that's allowed to cure for 4 hours. So at the end of 6 hours, you have a moisture-controlled and primer solution for self-leveling application, which provides a very strong, bonding solution for levelers for high-traffic applications and moisture barrier in a much shorter time frame. Trying to do the same thing with a traditional epoxy system, that would take shot blasting, takes time, 24 hours for off-gassing of the open concrete, 6 to 8 hours to 6 to 10 hours for the epoxy to cure, 4 hours for a primer application, and then you're getting into leveling. So that's almost a 2-day wait period before you can get into leveling application, where you can do the same thing with Planiseal PMB in essentially 6 to 7 hours. So it's a very interesting product, very easy to apply, non-hazmat, a lot of it, and an absolute 0 VOC data points. So it's an interesting product to take a look at. The other product we've added to moisture control solutions is a product called Planiseal MSP. It's a moisture reducer, sealer, and primer. Not all concrete slabs are going to require a sledgehammer fix to them. You don't necessarily need the full 25-pound, 100% moisture control solution, and that's where Planiseal MSP comes into place. For example, on concrete slabs that are above grade, second floor and above, with a known quantity of moisture left in them, the moisture tests are coming in below 15 pounds, 99% RH. Planiseal MSP is an excellent solution, an easy solution, and a fast solution for preparation of those types of concrete floors. It is a 2-coat application, a water-based product, red in color. The first coat goes down and is dried in about 2 hours. The second coat is applied in the opposite direction, or the east-west, north-south direction. That dries for 4 hours, and then it acts as a primer solution also. So levelers and patches can be directly applied on top of this membrane without any further steps. You can also direct bond to Planiseal MSP with traditional PSA-type adhesives, carpet tile adhesives, resilient flooring, pressure-sensitive types as well. So again, Planiseal MSP is a new one that we've brought to the marketplace, and it's done extremely well. So the moisture control lineup from MAPEI now consists of 4 products. Planiseal MSP, which is a 15-pound, this should be 99% RH level. It needs to be a CSP or 1 or porous, 2 coats, it's acrylic type, and then it takes 6 hours for drying. Planiseal PMB is a no-limit installation system, but does require porosity. It's a 1-coat system for wood applications using urethanes or hybrid polymer wood flooring adhesives. A 2-coat system for everything else, with a sand broadcast for self-leveling applications. It's a polyurethane type. Planiseal VS and VS FAST, again, are well known in the industry, and they are 25-pound, 100% solutions, 5-day-old concrete, but do require surface profiling, wet film thickness, and they're epoxy-based and take a little time to dry. So how do you select one of these over the other? The answer really is somewhat simple, but it's the age of the concrete and the substrate. Is it more than 5 days old? Is it less than 28 days? That if it's less than 28 days, for most part, all of the solutions you're going to have are epoxy solutions. Anything above the 28-day range, you're getting into the polyurethanes, and a PMB and MSV can be used. The moisture vapor emission rates and the RH readings are also going to drive it as well. pH levels and the warranty requirements. Having said the warranty requirements for all of MAPEI's products, the Planiseal VS, VS FAST, and PMB are backed by a limited lifetime performance warranty program, and Planiseal MSP, I believe, is a 10-year performance warranty program. So Depending upon what you need, how the age of your concrete, the moisture vapor emission rates, the level of warranty you want, that's how you're going to be able to drive the selection of that kind of product. Our high moisture resistant subfloor preparation products, which is a new category we've added to our product portfolio, begins with a new product called Planiprep MRS. Planiprep MRS is a skim coat designed to go on high moisture concrete slabs without worrying about what the moisture levels are. So if you want to prep a floor prior to the application of a moisture controlled membrane, Planiprep MRS is the solution. It is a hydraulic cement based material, very fluid and very easy to work with, has a very high compression strength, and is unaffected by continued exposure to moisture. Within 2 hours after application, moisture controlling membranes or moisture controlled installation systems can be applied directly on top of that. The second product we have in the portfolio is Mapecem QuickPatch. This has been in our portfolio for quite a long time. It's a sanded, fast setting patch for deep fills up to an inch and a half, I believe. This number is 3 inches as well. It's very fast, it's economical. You can modify the rheology of this by changing the water ratio from low water to high water to be able to make this do all sorts of things. Ramping, fixing, can be used interior and in exterior applications as well. The next product we have that's in the portfolio for high moisture resistant is our leveler product called Ultraplan Extreme 2. This product is unique in the fact that it is weather resistant within 6 hours after application. It does not require the HVAC systems being operational. It does not require the windows to be in the building.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the connection.
Sorry. It does not require HVAC systems running, and it's one of the products we recommend for use in our Go Early or the MAPEI's Expedited Subfloor Preparation System program, which I think I'll talk to you about in just a second. So those three products, a skim-coated deep fill and a leveling solution, are both all high moisture resistant systems that have no moisture limits to them. MAPEI's ESPS, the Expedited Subfloor Preparation System, is a proactive construction technique that works with your Division 3 guys. So if you can work with a self-performing general contractor who's organizing the delivery of this concrete for any given project, you could work with them to say, let's just leave this concrete placement as a bowl float condition or rough, and we'll come in with a program of products that will flatten this out to an absolute zero in terms of level and make the installation of the subsequent build-out materials that much easier. So this system gets in the front of anything else, of the windows being put in place, the door frames being put in place well in advance of the flooring being installed, but it allows for all sorts of benefits. Why is this product needed? Again, commercial fast-track construction practices are requiring that subfloor preparation be done in the absence of a controlled environment. They don't have time to wait for the HVAC system to be put in place. How do you get that kind of a thing handled? MAPEI's Ultraplan Extreme 2 and QuickPatch and MRS are all part of that portfolio. So here are the moisture-resistant systems to deal with for that as well. Moving along, as I say, there's quite a few things to talk about here. This new installation system we're presented at Surfaces this year in 2018 with the introduction of Planiprep MRS. We are now able to skim coat in high moisture content concrete slabs and bond using Ultrabond G15, a high moisture resistant fast epoxy flooring material in environments where you need to do something quickly, where you do not have time to put a moisture control membrane solution in place. This installation system using MRS and G15 takes the place, if you will, of shot blasting, Planiseal VS, primer application, leveler application, and then bonding a floor solution. So if you need to rehab a a medical operating room that has failed due to moisture-related issues or just needs to be repaired, or it's on a high moisture concrete slab, you can skim coat the surface just like you would with Planiprep SC or any other skim coat, and then install the floor covering using Ultrabond G15, which is a 2-part epoxy that locks the floor down and puts it back in service in roughly 5 hours after application. So that's relatively new and exciting stuff, and the product part of the portfolio that MAPEI is bringing to you. Our traditional patching solutions that do have some moisture limits to them. Generally speaking, these things have some limitations based on some of the normal adhesives that apply. Planitex UNS, believe it or not, we still, if you're not aware, do produce a gypsum-based white patch, a flooring patching compound. This is great for repairing of existing gypcrete substrates. It works very well on plywood substrates as well. It is a product we have in the portfolio and still a useful product. Works in conjunction with some of our new gypsum-based sub-levelers as well if you need to patch them. The next one in our portfolio is one probably that we have become famous, I guess, if you will. Planet Patch is one of MAPEI's top sellers in terms of products overall. It's been around for many, many years, a great, reliable product, fast-setting Portland-based cement patching compound that does a great deal of things from skimming to ramping to patching. And when you combine it with the Planipatch Plus latex admix, is a great solution for fixing or repairing or patching over existing vinyl flooring that has embossing to it, or over concrete slabs that are highly polished or have a difficulty bonding to. The Planipatch Plus is really a way to increase Planipatch's ability to stick to the subfloor. Again, that's our mainstay on the product. We do very well with that as well. The next one in our portfolio is Planiprep SC. This is a high-performance, fiber-reinforced, highly polymer-modified skim coating compound that works extremely well in dealing with surface defects. The one key success factor that I will share with you in terms of using Planiprep SC is to make sure you follow the instructions on the water addition and make sure you mix it properly. Where people get in problems with skim coats of any brand and any sort is that they perhaps try to shorten the mixing cycle and the stuff doesn't look like it's quite mixed properly, so they add more water, and then you wind up with an overwatered product on the floor that will dust off when you sand it. So it's not a recommended solution. So I definitely ask for you to take a look at the installation instructions for SC. A great product. When properly mixed, it's almost like chocolate frosting going on the floor, very smooth, very easy to apply with a good dry time and a very nice surface on which to install. We also have a few other deep fill solutions in the form of Mapecem Premix. This is a traditional screed, a fast-setting cement-based mortar or screed for doing repairs and subfloor preparation work. This is good for depths of 4 to 6 inches, I believe. It's ready for floor covering installation after 3 to 4 hours. So if you're doing trench repair, this is the great product to be using for that kind of an application, as opposed to trying to dump a bunch of leveler or waiting for a long time for things to dry. The other choice is Mapecem Premix. It's more of a traditional setting mortar. Again, deep fill, has a accelerated set, but it does take a little bit longer to dry. So the Mapecem Premix that I just mentioned, the fast set version, is probably a little bit more expensive. And if you need to do something in a hurry, that's the choice to go to. But if time is not a restraint and price becomes an issue, the Mapecem Premix is a way to go. Again, looking at our chart for the patch, skim coat, and deep fill solutions, these are Planitex UNS, goes up to 1 inch, takes a little bit longer to dry. Planipatch, Planiprep SC, and Mapecem Premix and Mapecem Premix are also involved in that. So a gypsum skim coat, a Portland cement skim coat and patch, a calcium aluminate cement-based skim coat, and 2 deep fills as well. So now we take a look at our leveling solutions, and MAPEI has got quite a few of those to go through, so we're going to try to bounce along with this as well. We begin with a base grade leveling product called Novoplan SP. I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Let's talk about Planitex SL first. Planitex SL is a high-flow gypsum-based self-leveling underlayment. This product is extremely easy to work with. It mixes very quickly, pours on the floor very much like water, dries to a very nice, very glossy finish. A great product for applications over concrete slabs on second floors and above. High compression strength. I believe this product is in the range of 4,500 to 5,000 PSI, and can also be extended with 40% addition of sand for pours of 2 inches, up to 2 inches of fill. Planitex SL by itself neat is good for up to 1 inch, and 2-inch pours can be done by the addition of 40% of a fine mash of 20 to 40 grit sand. Planitex SLF, a new product addition to our portfolio as well, is a fiber reinforced gypsum underlayment, also good up to 2 inches of pour as well. But this one is reinforced with a fiber that's almost 3/8 to 1/2 inch in length, and creates a very strong, very flexible material. Both of these products, the Planitex SL and SLF, are great solutions for repair of existing gypcrete concrete slabs, as well as for new pours for leveling, and are highly recommended for those kinds of applications. Moving on to our cement-based product portfolio, we begin with Novoplan SP. And Novoplan SP, the SP stands for Standard Performance. This is our base grade self-leveling underlayment. It's a little bit more of extended working time. It is the price point the price fighter we have in our product portfolio. It's a great leveler, up to 1/2 inch of fill in a single pour, a little bit longer dry times, but if you're dealing with price constraints on a particular project and time is not an issue for set or being able to install floor covering, Novoplan SP is a great solution for that application. The next one on our portfolio is Novoplan 2 Plus. Novoplan 2 Plus is one of the workhorses for the MAPEI Novoplan Easy Plus. Novoplan Easy is a product that we have in our portfolio, and then whenever you see the word easy in our product description, that means it's a minimal prep type of product. Novoplan SP does require a surface profile, for example, of 2 or 3. Novoplan Easy Plus just requires a clean substrate, properly primed and prepared, that does not require shot blasting. So if you're dealing with a project, which we're getting more and more these days, where especially if you're rehabbing a space, many building supervisors are not allowing you to generate dust on the project, so shot blasting and grinding of a subfloor is becoming an issue. That's where these no prep or low prep solutions are being used more and more. So Novoplan Easy Plus is one of those that can be used over a relatively low prep concrete slab without shot blasting. The next product is Novoplan 2 Plus. I'm going to get to it sooner or later. It is our professional self-leveling underlayment. Again, it's a high-strength self-leveling underlayment with somewhat of a quicker curing time, compression strengths in the range of 36 to 4,000 PSI, ceramic tile within 12 hours, and floor covering within 16 hours. It's a great product, great flowing handling characteristics, great surface, and a great price point. Moving on to the next product in our portfolio, we are going to talk about Ultraplan 1 Plus. Now, a little bit of a definition for you in terms of MAPEI's product naming construction. The Novoplan product portfolio are our traditional setting materials in terms of set time or cure time. The Ultraplan family is a faster setting version. So if speed, being able to get on a job site quicker to install floor covering is of importance, that's where you look into the Ultraplan family as opposed to the Novoplan. So Novoplan Easy, as I mentioned before again, is one of these minimal prep solutions. It is shrinkage compensated formulation, so you can apply this with confidence over slabs that are smooth and not textured, or existing flooring that's been properly prepped without fear of it cracking or falling off the floor. The traditional version of the fast set version is Ultraplan 1 Plus. I hope this is 1 Plus, maybe M20. Bear with me as I'm waiting for that to go. Ultraplan M20. This is our higher compression strength self-leveling underlayment. This is a 5,000 PSI compression strength leveler, where you need that kind of performance for high traffic conditions. M20 can also be used as an exposed surface for a wear layer as well. But this is a fast setting calcium aluminum based cement underlayment that's suitable for applications up to 2 inches of pour in a single application. But again, its claim to fame are fast setting and extremely high compression strength. It does require surface profiling in order to make it suitable for use for that kind of a warehouse or surface to work on. Ultraplan 1 Plus, I'm sorry, I really want to talk about Ultraplan 1 Plus quite a bit. Ultraplan LSC is a new product we've added to our portfolio about 2 years ago. The LSC stands for Liquid Skim Coat. This is an extremely fluid, self-leveling underlayment that has extremely nice handling characteristics and creates a super smooth surface on which to install floor covering. If you're looking for something that flows like water and placement is that easy, Ultraplan LSC is your choice. A great product, great set time, and great compression strength as well. Ultraplan Lite is another product that we've introduced recently to the portfolio, and it responds to the request for leveling applications in concrete slabs that cannot take a tremendous amount of weight load on the structure. Not all subfloors are suitable to take the amount of weight that a normal leveler would apply. Ultraplan Lite is designed to provide a one-part leveler that generates a finished product that is roughly 50% the density of a normal leveler. For example, Ultraplan 1 Plus, Ultraplan Easy, any of our other levelers typically have a density factor of about 115 to 120 pounds per cubic foot density. Ultraplan Lite is running about 65 to 69 pounds per cubic foot density, so it's considerably lighter in weight. So if you're dealing with concrete slabs that are cantilevered out and you're trying to put a 2-inch fill on them to layer things out, this is the product to go. Great handling characteristics, compression strengths are in the 3,500 range, and creates a very nice finish. However, for ceramic tile, it's immediately suitable for use, but if you're putting in a vinyl floor covering on top of that, we would suggest a 1/4 inch cap of a normal leveler on top of that to be able to make it work, make a nice smooth surface. The last one in the product that I think we'll talk about here is Ultraplan QuickTraffic. And this is a very interesting product that's being developed in response to the contractor demand of speed. I need to be able to level a floor and install vinyl floor covering, and I need to do it overnight. Ultraplan QuickTraffic is designed to be used over a profiled concrete floor with a normal leveler solution, normal primer solution. It cures extremely quickly and is suitable for the installation of floor covering, vinyl floor covering, within 1 to 3 hours after placement. It is a rocket in terms of speed. It does generate a little bit of heat during the installation process, and that's why we recommend it be applied no thicker than 1/2 inch in application. If you needed to go higher than that with this product, you would wind up steaming the entire room up and probably blowing the product off the floor. So it has got a maximum application thickness of 1/2 inch. But again, very hard, 7,000 PSI compression strength at the end of the day, but is ready for subfloor prep for floor covering installation as soon as 3 hours after application. And I think that is about all. I didn't get a chance to talk about Ultraplan 1 Plus all day, but that is another one of our workhorse products. And it's on here in terms of the fast set. A lot of things are moving. So this is the product chart that you'll get for our self-leveling underlayments, the wait time before the installation of various different kinds of floor covering, and the range of compression sets that you'll see. All this information is available in our subfloor preparation solutions brochures, our catalogs, and so on and so forth. So a lot of information there and a lot of different choices. So again, if you ask yourself the question, how do you choose one over the other? Those are going to be answered by a variety of questions, starting off with what's the money available for the project, what amount of preparation you can do. Can I shot blast this? Do I not get to shot blast this? How fast do I need to be able to get onto it for floor covering application? How deep do I need to apply it? What kind of compression strength or what kind of traffic is this going to be exposed to? And what kind of a density do I need to deal with at the end of the day? So if you ask yourself that 6 questions, you'll basically filter your way through the MAPEI product portfolio to pick the right solution for any given project you're dealing with. The next thing that we need to talk about in terms of subfloor preparation are MAPEI's primer solutions. And again, as with all of these wonderful things that we deal with on a daily basis, one thing is not going to do everything. So we do have a variety of different primer solutions available for subfloor preparation, beginning with a product called Primer L. This is our acrylic primer, a workhorse that works over gypsum substrates as well as porous concrete. You can dilute this down with water to extend its coverage, but it is a great primer for porous concrete and gypsum-based underlayments. The next one we have in our line, which is probably our workhorse primer in the portfolio, is Primer T. This is a multi-purpose primer, if you will, suitable for use over porous concrete as well as non-porous substrates. This is our recommendation for the use over epoxy moisture control membranes, porcelain tile installations, anything that is a non-porous substrate. Primer T is suitable for use over that. The word of caution about Primer T over any of those substrates is you do need to make sure it's properly dried before you get onto it with any kind of patching, leveling, or bonding solution. And Primer T does require a full 4 hours of exposure on top of a non-porous substrate to achieve its complete drying profile. Getting onto it sooner than that, and you'll risk some performance issues that you really don't want to deal with long term. The next primer we have in our portfolio is Primer WE. This is a 2-component water-based primer. I will admit that this is a little bit of an old school solution, but its claim to fame is that this product can be used over old adhesive residues without necessarily pulling that all off the floor. It is a 2-part system. It provides a very sticky and tacky primer base on which most levelers will bond extremely well to. So again, it's designed for the difficult to bond substrates, glazed ceramic tile, epoxy moisture barriers as well, et cetera, et cetera. So that is also in the offering, and if you're looking for a solution, that is available to you as well. We also provide 2 versions of epoxy primers. Primer CE. This is a low viscosity consolidating primer. So if you're dealing with a concrete slab that is dusty, overly porous, friable on the surface, brittle, then Primer CE is a great product to apply. Mix 2 components, very low viscosity, penetrates deeply into the concrete, cures up in about 8 to 10 hours, and you've got a very tough consolidated surface on which to work with. Primer E is another epoxy we recommend when you're looking for the gold standard of primers for leveler applications in high traffic environments, underneath warehouse floors, etc. Primer E is a 2-part solution. does require the addition of sand to it. And it's important to note that MAPEI now in our FCIS product portfolio does provide 2 versions of sand in bags for you. MAPECEM Fine is a 2040 mesh sand that you can add to this particular product to create a textured surface. We also provide MAPECEM Coarse, which is a 16 to 30 mesh sand, which works with Planiseal PMB as the aggressive sand bonding, as well as Planibond EVA. Planibond EVA is another one of our primer solutions. It's a high viscosity epoxy. This is used as a primer solution underneath all of MAPEI's topping products, Ultra Top White and Gray and Ultra Top PC. This goes on the floor with a 16 to 30 grit sand or MAPECEM Coarse, and you have a very secure bonding solution for those types of flooring applications. And I think I'm going to finish off with a brief discussion about Planiseal MSP and Planiseal PMB. I'm sorry, Prim Grip is also in the line. Prim Grip made its introduction in our tile and stone business quite a while ago, but it is a textured roll-on coating that works extremely well on concrete surfaces as well as others. It does provide a textured substrate. This is another solution for concrete preparation where if you can't bring in a grinder or a sander or a shot blaster, Prim Grip is a great solution for that as well. Provides a textured surface. It's almost like a 16 grit sandpaper on the floor by the time it's done. Planiseal PMB, even though we talked about that being a moisture barrier solution, when you add it with sand, it does become a moisture barrier as well. And Planiseal BMB and Planiseal MSP are also primer solutions. So I'm getting towards the end of my spiel here. Let me get to this is a chart again for looking at the self-leveling primers we have. And you can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different primer solutions. Again, if you ask yourself a variety of questions, you can figure out which one of these things you'll need to use. What's the substrate type? What's the substrate condition and level of performance that you need to? So if you look at all of that stuff, that is quite a sandwich of products. MAPEI Systems solutions, combining all of those things together, can provide solutions for a variety of things. A low-level moisture mitigation system and skim coating. You can use Planiseal MSP, skim coat with SC, and you're off the races. Moisture control for main mitigation, Planiseal VS, Primer T, Novoplan 2 Plus. And we have more of these kinds of sandwich stacks that you can possibly come up with, as you can see. All right, so I'm going to say that it's getting close to the end of my time with you. I'm going to give it back to Lizzie, and if there are any questions you might have, let's take a moment to answer those, because I do need to get off the phone here in about 8 minutes. Any questions out there?
Don't forget you can submit your questions via the question pane. You can just text real quick and send it over to us.
I mean, while we're waiting for a question to ask, I mean, I know it's a kind of a crazy question, but why can't we just do this with one product? My sales guys will often say, why can't we just have one leveler and be done with it? I wish we could do that, but there are so many different applications and requirements. That is why it's necessary to have all of these things available to you. It's all about the challenges that we face from the floor covering installation standpoint. How quickly we need to get onto it, how resilient we need to do it, the availability of power, the availability of grinding equipment, all that kind of stuff drives our product portfolio and the reasons why we have so many products in the portfolio. I wish we could do this with one. Believe me, our operational group at the MAPEI organization wishes we had one product only, but that's just simply not a viable solution. You have anything, Lizzie?
Nope. I am not seeing any questions coming in. If anyone is currently typing, shoot me a hold on or something so we know we can keep going here. I'm going to just wrap it up quickly. If I see something pop in, then we can head back to questions, but otherwise we're going to wrap up here.
Thank you. Again, from my perspective,
I'm sorry, what, Mike?
I just wanted to say again, thank you. I'm just going to say again, from my point of view, thank you very much for the attendance and your attention. So back to you, Lizzie.
Oh, of course. Thanks, Jeff, for presenting today's webinar. And I do want to remind everyone that this was sponsored by MAPEI Corporation. All registered attendees will receive a copy of the presentation along with a link to the recording once it's available. And again, the recording will also be available on the FCICA website and our YouTube channel, and you can access it at any time. For our SIMs who attended this webinar live, your CEUs will be added to your accounts. Those that watch the recording later do need to submit the CEU form, which is available on the SIM pages of the FCICA website. If you are looking for other continuing education opportunities, you can access previous webinars on the YouTube channel and Member Center, and visit our training resources page for other offerings. And MAPEI is on there. They do have some different in-person trainings that you can go to, so go ahead and check those out. And if you are interested in sponsoring an FCICA promotional or educational webinar, you can contact me by email at elizabeth@fcica.com or by calling FCICA at 248-661-5015. I am still not seeing, somebody is on the questions page. Oh, we have a thanks, good content. So I'm not seeing any questions coming through. So at this time, let's wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.